So I'd like to talk about how do we do this? What is included? How do we get together up the river? And I have some slides that I'm going to share that show you the program so you can understand what's included. So this slide shows the three main components. There's transformational writing immersions, there's a soulful writer circle, and there's the Sedona author experience. Let me explain each one of these. So the first is your transformational writing immersions. These are day-long events online where you will be with me while I am holding the container, the space for you to get your book done. There are 2 immersion days for most of the 5 phases. The second phase, when you're writing your rough draft, you have 3 days in a row, and we really get into flow in this online retreat. And there's also the Sedona author experience in that phase. I'll talk about that in a minute. And then at the end, you have 4 immersion days for the 5th phase, because finishing your book is the longest phase. It takes the most time to do that. So we have 12 weeks and 4 immersion days for that. So these are days where you come online and we create a community together on Zoom that supports you in getting to flow. There is instruction that I give related to each phase. So if we're in the pre-writing phase, I will be teaching you and help you understand what your topic will be, what stories to include, what the reason is that you're writing your book, what your why is, and we'll be doing that together and we'll be channeling that together. I'll be giving you writing prompts each day, journal writing questions and instructions for each phase. So we start at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern, and we go for most of the day till 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern. We take breaks for lunch, and I always recommend healthy time outside. But most of the time, you're with me holding the space for you. If you miss any of the days because you are traveling or teaching, these are all recorded. Okay? But this is when you get a lot of the writing done and also a lot of the learning and a lot of the editing. These are where we hold the container. And I want to say, there's a maximum of 18 women per cohort. I don't want to get a really large group. I want to be able to give you personal attention so that if I need to personalize the instruction, I can do that. I can also give personal feedback to every single one of you. The second component is the Soulful Writers Circle. And this is time for you. This is number one, a place where you are making friends. You are in a community that supports you. So you're not just getting support from me, you are getting support from each other. Every single immersion day, we will have at least one breakout room where you can share how things are going. You will have accountability and motivation. I found women had an extremely high attendance rate. And the last time I did this, all of the women came to as many as they could. We didn't have any women dropping out or going missing. Women really were committed. So you are with a strong cohort that will be supporting you in this difficult and wonderful project of writing your book. You want that. You want sisters. We'll be talking about how to balance your writing with everything else. Again, so in the Soulful Writer Circle, we have 1 day per month, in addition to the teaching immersion days, that 1 day a month that is an open writing day. And this is where I do 3 breakout sessions, one at the beginning, one at the middle, one at the end, where I am checking in with the group. How are you doing? How is your writing going? How is your flow? I'm also there if you get stuck. You can text message me. You can even call me if you need. I will be around during the entire day to support you. We do a breakout room so that you can read something you've written just on that day and make friends on that day. There will be a beta reader network that we create from women going through this program, so you'll get instruction on how to read and give detailed feedback on each phase of the work. How do you give feedback on another woman's book blueprint? How do you give feedback on 1 or 2 chapters? How do you give feedback on her publishing and marketing plan? Right? or whether it's the full manuscript. So you will have all of that read by your peers, and everybody's getting detailed feedback. And you're going to learn a lot about writing through your own writing, but also through reading your peers and seeing where they struggle, where they shine, and giving them helpful feedback. I don't allow critique, but I do allow supportive, helpful feedback. You will become a better writer through reading other women's work and seeing their process. So you have peer review circles, and you also have an open Q&A with me separate from the day per month. You have one open Q&A where you can come and ask me if you're stuck on your writing. You can hear how your friends are doing, your collaboration partners, your cohort buddies, and you will have access to 2 story medicine circles per month. Any of you have been with me for a while know I've been doing these once a month. We're going to be going to twice a month starting in at least June, possibly May. Okay. So you need buddies as an author, and you will be getting that from the Soulful Writer Circle. Then we have the Sedona Author Experience. Okay, so this is coming to Sedona, which is my hometown, and you will be getting the inspiration of the Red Rocks. And I want to tell you, it is one of the best things for an author to take yourself on a writing retreat. I highly recommend this. Is a 4-night retreat here in Sedona, and you have not only me to guide you during your writing immersion, but you have the beauty and the inspiration of the Red Rocks. You have all of the animals and all of the plants. So you'll write for a couple hours or maybe 1 hour in the morning and go for a hike, and you get guidance and inspiration from nature. This is the writing life. So Sedona is a premier place in the world for spiritual inspiration. I will be renting a small Airbnb near my home. There's a maximum of 12 women that can come to the Sedona Author Experience because I really want to be able to give every single one of you personal attention. You will have space and a full kitchen to cook your own breakfast and lunch, and then we will have dinners together. You're stepping into the lifestyle and the identity of a writer, and enjoy your evenings in circle, in community. The most important thing is the writing. You are immersed, and I'm holding a container for you to just write, write, write. And a lot of our women from last year said they developed a habit that they'd never had before of how to write for 3 hours, 4 hours, some women 6. Of course, I do recommend a healthy lunch. We will spread out around the house. Everybody will have her own quiet nook. We keep the house quiet during the daytime so that you can be writing. If you get stuck, you can come and find me. We can have a cup of tea. We can go for a walk. We can do a little constellation. Some women call it like sand play. It's a way to get into flow writing. This is how I live my life. Basically, I write and then I go for a walk in the Sedona Red Rocks, and you'll get to experience that. We have a different cultural outing every single night. The first night is a welcome. The second night we do a land excursion where you get to hear the sounds of the forest and see Cathedral Rock, and we'll have a private supper on the land. That's the second night. The third night we're going to Tlaquepaque Arts and Crafts Village, which is a historical artifact. We will be walking a labyrinth there. We'll have a creek walk and a private table for dinner, and then we have a photographer following us around, so you'll get a palette of artistic photos of you in Tlaquepaque. It's beautiful. The last night will be here in my home for a special dinner. So let's take a breath. Those are the 3 main components. And I'll go back here. So that's what's included at sisterhood level. This is the level that I recommend for most women. I do offer a level with more support. And then for those who are really having a financial need, I offer a scholarship level that is by application for those with financial need. And I can get on the phone with you. It probably won't take that long. I want to hear what you are thinking about and what you're trying to decide, and what your motivation is and your goals and how far along you are and what your particular challenges are. in writing your book. And based on that, you may already know which level you're aiming, leaning towards, or you may want my guidance in picking a level. Let me show you the higher level. So for those of you who want my feedback, my editorial feedback at every phase, you can add on private coaching to it, okay? So this is Soulful Book Coaching with me. And what this means is that I will read your work on a monthly basis, and you will be getting feedback from me at every single phase. Some people hire a book coach if they're self-publishing. Some people, if you're going to go with a traditional publisher, they will probably give you an editor, a developmental editor. I would be that for you. I would increase your likelihood if you wanted to go with something like She Writes Press, which we would talk about in the publication phase, which is phase 4 of the Soulful Book Journey. But in this, I will read your book blueprint actually twice. Once at the beginning before you come to Sedona, once a couple of months after that, after you have revised it, after the draft. I will also read every 2 chapters. I'll be doing another read. You get like 3 of those, and then a full manuscript read at the end. Okay. For those of you who've had book coaching with me before, you know that what I do is I read the material you send me, I sleep on it, I take detailed notes, and then we have a soulful coaching session. I call this a soul read. I'm looking at a soul level. So I'm looking at, kind of a technical level. How is the tone of voice? How's the beginning, the end of your chapters? How strong is your hook to why someone should read your book if we're looking at the blueprint? What might make it a stronger hook? So that you are setting your book up for market success, because I want you not only to write a book that touches your soul, but that finds its audience, right? So I'm going to be looking at that with that eye as well. And we'll be talking about that in the blueprint. I'll be reading your entire manuscript. So we do soulful book coaching, and then that becomes the concierge level if you add that on. So if you choose concierge level, would be a higher level of investment. We can talk about that when we get on the phone and see what's right for you. You have all 4 components. You have the transformational writing immersions, the Soulful Writer Circle, which includes the day-long retreats on top of the writing immersions where I'm teaching stuff, right? In the day-long open retreats, I'm not teaching anything. I'm there to hold space for your writing. The open Q&As monthly and the story medicine circles. You have the Sedona author experience, and you have the book coaching with me. That's concierge level. For those of you that need the most affordable option, that is scholarship level. I have 6 of those available. Maximum, as I said, there's a maximum of 18 in the full cohort, and you would be getting all of the online curriculum. Okay, so the transformational writing immersions, all the teaching, a cohort that caps out at 18, so I can give every single one of you my full attention, and all of the online Soulful Writer Circle. There's also, I just want to say, what you can expect as far as how much you will get done. Everybody who goes through this, you will leave with you will definitely leave with a book blueprint. You will leave with a full publishing plan and with a clear direction. And I will say some of the women finish their draft in 9 months. Some women don't, right? And that reason you don't finish is because I'm not pushing you to fit a formula. If I were teaching you punchy books or snappy books, I could probably help everyone get their book done in much shorter time. But the women who come to me want to write soulfully. I will show you shortcuts if you choose to use them. Those are optional, but I'm not going to force you to do it quickly. So if your soulful book takes more than 9 months, you have the choice to stay in the Soulful Writer Circle, and I will be then right next to you for all those open Q&As and writing retreats as long as it takes. So I'm not going to abandon you. You still have the choice of me by your side if you choose that. And I know it can be hard to choose between the levels. So you may be wondering, Laura, which level should I do? And I recommend we get on a phone call. It could be a short call and talk through your thoughts about this, which level might be right for you. And you might be really clear, Laura, I need to do this level or I need to do that level, and that's fine too. We can talk through any questions you have. I'm happy to answer them. I do want to know, what are your goals for your book and where are you currently? How far along are you? Some of you are pretty far. Some of you may not have even started, and both are fine. I just want to hear where you're at. And some of you may have specific challenges you want me to know about, and I'm happy to listen to those challenges and what extra support you might need. We can look at the pricing, we can see what level is right for you, and just get it finalized for you. So I do recommend that we hop on a quick Zoom call to see what's right for you. And for those of you at the concierge level, if I'm going to be doing your full manuscript review, there's no time deadline. I do want you to be doing the blueprint and the chapter reviews as we go through. But as far as reviewing the whole manuscript, if that takes you more time to finalize, there's no time deadline on that. As long as I'm alive, and I plan to live a long time, I'm pretty healthy. There's no timeline. I'm not going to rush you, and I will read you your book and give you the full feedback on that. So anybody who's called, if you're like, oh, I want to make this work, let's talk and let's see what we can figure out so that can work for you. Trust your heart, right? Trust your heart. And I want to say, this is about sovereignty. This is about you claiming the fullness and the breadth of your wisdom and your sovereignty, leaving your legacy. So it's not sitting on the desk, it's not sitting in a box of journals up in your garage or your closet. It's out in the world, being good, being of service, being of use, right? Let's get that done for you. I'd love to help you. It's incredibly, incredibly generous act to write a book. That's my experience. Okay, big love. Namaste.